Yuga cycles and extreme human antiquity. Most people visualize time as something linear. Past, present and future. This is projected upon mainstream theories of human origins, the evolutionary process, and even our possible future. Although the individual soul does progress from simple life forms to higher ones, the Vedic scriptures do not support the theory of evolution. Vedic time is circular, just like nature itself. An important cycle is called a Maha Yuga, a period of about 4.32 million years, divided into 4 ages, when there is a gradual decline of austerity, mercy, cleanliness and truth. At the bitter end of the age of Kali, the process starts again. In the Satyuga, divine and demoniac tendencies were on separate planets only, with Earth on the side of divinity. The main avatar was Lord Nrsimhadev. It was possible for some to live up to 100,000 years, and the process of God realization was through meditation. In the Treta Yuga, divine and demoniac beings could occupy a different part of the same planet. The avatar was Lord Ram. Some people could live up to 10,000 years, and the main spiritual process were the great fire yagnas. In the Dwapara Yuga, very different natures could be found in the same families. The avatar for that age was Lord Krishna. People could live up to 1,000 years, and the spiritual process was elaborate deity worship. In this present Kali Yuga, divine and demoniac tendencies can potentially be found in everyone. The avatar in this cycle is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. People can live up to about 100 years, and the process of self-realization is the chanting of mantras. Closing in into the beginning of this Kali Yuga, the end of the former Yuga, Dwapara, is described in the epic Mahabharata. Kali began 5,000 years ago. In our not too distant future, there will be temporary spiritual revival. But by the end of Kali Yuga, civilization will be completely lost, and the demigods will come to replenish the earth, beginning a new Satya Yuga. Thus, a new cycle begins. These Yuga cycles are ongoing. Currently, we are in the 28th cycle of this Manvantara period. Lord Ram, as described in Valmiki's Ramayana, was here just over 17 million years ago, but Lord Ram appears in other Treta Yugas too. We can take the Yuga cycles back to the Jurassic period with ease, when the last of the dinosaurs were said to roam the earth. Stepping back further, one Manvantara is 71 Maha Yuga cycles. That's the duration of one Manu, the beginning and end of which the earth experiences a partial annihilation. A single day of Lord Rama, a kalpa, includes 14 Manvantaras. We are currently in the 7th one. Now, the present estimated age of the earth is 4.5 billion years. Imposing that on this day and previous night of Lord Brahma, we can conclude that his night corresponds quite nicely with the earth in its primordial state. All this, of course, is very different from contemporary theories of human antiquity. Even a single Yuga cycle is very, very different. We are taught that modern humans, Homo sapiens, originated in Africa sometime within the last 200,000 years. We are told they probably evolved from Homo erectus. Most archaeologists attribute the first city with a population of more than 10,000 to just 7,400 BCE. The Indus Valley civilization is attributed as the earliest known urban culture in the world, but Yuga cycles seem to be describing highly sophisticated humans living hundreds of thousands, indeed millions of years ago. But where's the evidence? Firstly, we should note that less than 10% of the Earth's surface has been explored by archaeologists. Then there's what we call the knowledge filter. In other words, if anything they find doesn't fit into contemporary theories, it tends to get either suppressed, ignored, or placed on the back shelf. The process of erosion, storms, radiation, etc. removes a very great deal. If today's humanity were to suddenly disappear, some structures could still be around after 1,000 years, such as large stone buildings and monuments. But give it over 10,000 years, they would likely be gone. And concrete, the most common building material, begins to crumble after between 60 and 250 years, and that's if they're properly maintained. Besides, populations before the Kali Yuga live in largely rural settlements. Even in the Mahabharata, most towns were relatively small. Remember, quantity of population doesn't mean quality of life. Also note that cultured peoples cremated most of their dead, disintegrating bodily remains. Another factor we cannot ignore is the massive length of time humans were said to be able to live. This surely relates to the fact that the scriptures provide stories which are not limited to this planet. For example, they describe that at the beginning of each Satyayuga, the earth is repopulated by descendants of the Manus, demigods. These multi-dimensional travellers were our distant ancestors, and not ape-like beings. All that said, surely there'll be some physical evidence. Well, that brings me to books such as Forbidden Archaeology and the Hidden History of the Human Race by Michael Kreml and Richard Thompson. These works include remarkably complete reviews of scientific evidence. Over the past 2 centuries, researchers have found bones, artifacts and prints showing that people like ourselves indeed existed on Earth millions of years ago. Fascinatingly, in South Africa, miners found small metal spheres with 3 man-made parallel grooves in rock estimated to be over 2 billion years old. In the Vedic paradigm, that would correspond to the early hours in this day of Lord Brahma. Think on that. Thanks for watching, and please share with others.